Malawi, a landlocked country in southern Africa, is defined by its topography of highlands split by the Great Rift Valley and enormous Lake Malawi. The lake's southern end falls within Lake Malawi National Park, sheltering diverse wildlife from colorful fish to baboons, and its clear waters are popular for diving and boating. Peninsular Cape Maclear is known for its beach resorts. Besides, every country has its own problem or crisis that can be solved or it is unsolvable. Therefore, these are the issues. There are several challenges that country is facing with respect to developing global partnership, some of which include the following.
Vandalism of telecommunication equipment. Tilo police have issues with lenient penalties meted out of offenders as a contributing factor to rampant vandalism of Eskom equipment in that district. Tilo police officer in charge Deputy Commissioner Teresa Nankuni said this after the arrest of 29 people found in possession of suspected Eskom wires and cables. From April 30 to May 3, Tilo Police and Eskom officer conducted a joint patrol in market and other trading centre in Tilo, Bombe, Mulanje and Falumbi. Several items such as welding machine and battery chargers containing Eskom cable and wires were confiscated during the patrol, which Eskom said are worth millions of kwacha. Deputy Commissioner Nankuni said vandalism of Eskom property is topping the list among crime committed in spite of suspects being arrested and charged before the court of law.
Solution. First, have bright security lights inside and outside of your property. Light is the vandal's biggest enemy. They do not want to be seen, keeping areas well lit making it difficult to commit their acts of vandalism without being seen. Vandals like to operate under cover of darkness. In their world, light is only useful after they have done their damage. Proper lighting is the most natural and most important step in preventing vandalism. It is essential to ask the right questions about your lighting to get right lighting solution for your particular environment. Second, install security fencing around your property. When possible, install fences around the perimeter of your location to discourage intruders. Be sure to post no trespassing signage on them as well. It is also advisable to have an extra set of fencing around areas that are more attractive to criminals, such as corners and passageways. Installing fencing is a crime prevention option that provides the added benefit to deterring other types of crime. If you see anyone committing vandalism, report it to the police. Many people make the mistake of thinking that acts of vandalism are too small to report to the police. This is false. Always remember, large or small, report it all. The police are charged with protecting law-abiding citizens from criminals. When crimes are committed, they are responsible for capturing the suspects, for them to answer of their violation of the law. Crime prevention is important. However, making criminals pay a price for their crimes is also important. The police can only respond to crimes that are reported. Promptly reporting the act can result in vandals' arrest. At minimum, timely reporting can allow the police to increase presence in the area to protect your neighbors and prevent your location from being hit again.
CFTA lists the following as anti-competitive practice. Predatory behavior toward competitors, including the use of cost pricing to damage, hinder or eliminate competition. Trade agreement fixing prices between persons engaged in the business of selling goods and service, which agreement hinder or prevent the sale of supply or purchase of goods and service between persons or limit or restrict the term of condition or supply or purchase between persons engaged in sale of purchase good or service. Collusive tendering and bid rigging, market or customer allocation agreement, allocation by quota as to sale and production, collective action to enforce arrangement, concerted refusal to supply good or service to potential purchaser, collective denials of access to arrangement or association that is crucial to competition. Former traders sometimes purchase from informal trader to avoid paying custom duties. It is possible that this relationship was deliberately left out because it was known that the government would enact the law on consumer protection. However, the link needed to be provided for the CFTA.
Advertising and marketing. Established brands often have a larger budget for advertising than new arrival in a marketplace. This can enable them to crush a new entrant by spending heavily on marketing and thus drowning out the message from the new entrant. Potential customers will also be more exposed to these established brands and thus may regard the new brand with suspicion. Cost advantage. Excluding economies of scale, established players in a market may have competitive access to raw materials or strong geographic locations which enable cheaper production of goods. They may also have a developed or licensed proprietary technologies that make it more expensive for a new entrant to produce similar goods. They are also likely to have the experience to reduce production costs that a new entrant may lack. Distribution. Both distributors and retailers in certain sectors may either be contractually prohibited from doing business with competing businesses by contracts with existing businesses or may be highly incentivized for doing so. This can make it difficult for a new market entrant to get their products in front of customers in order for them to adopt them. Economies of scale benefit large established players in the market because they buy large volumes of raw material and intermediary products. They get them at a preferential price. This may make it difficult for new entrants to market to produce goods as cheaply as the established players. In some cases, technological advance can quickly eliminate economies of scale. Today, computing power, for example, is available to nearly all businesses. 50 years ago, only industrial giants could afford access to such an advantage. Regulatory barriers. Governments take a strong interest in certain market sectors and new entrants may be required to jump through a lot of legal hoops before they can enter a market. License, permissions and compliance, etc. all add additional financial and administrative burdens to new entrants to a market. Inelastic demand. Many new entrants to a market will try and adopt a cheaper pricing strategy to persuade customers to defect from existing competition. This can be a mistake if the demand for a product comes from price-insensitive customers. Cigarette smokers are a good example of price-insensitive consumers. Increased taxes generally do not discourage smoking but increase revenues for governments. Cigarette smokers also tend to be brand loyal and a discount will not necessarily encourage a change of brand. Intellectual property. You only have to witness Apple and Samsung slugging it out in the courts to realize that even big companies have issues with intellectual property when entering new markets. Patents, copyrights, trademarks, etc. can be costly to obtain, market, and protect. When the intellectual property required to be succeed is owned by a competitor, it may be costly to a proprietor, driving up production prices. Network resistant. If a new product requires a network of customers to succeed, existing network may be hard or impossible to break into. Think Google Plus trying to break into social networking and having to tackle the established dominance of Facebook.
There is several issues in this challenge, which is inadequate distribution of ICT service and infrastructure. Secondly, shortage in foreign exchange reserve resulting in fuel shortage and higher cost of import. Thirdly, poor internet and IT support infrastructure. Lastly, underdeveloped regulatory framework in the telecommunication sector. The solution for this issue is With the full knowledge that tourism is a complex sector with tentacles into a myriad of other economic activities, all of which require careful management. Countries with tourism assets are fully justified in deciding to prioritize tourism as a development strategy. The potential for tourism growth in SSA, Social Security Administration, is significant. Tourism can be a powerful economic development tool for Africa. The next solution is in using the internet as a marketing channel. It is important to understand that customer find the business more than business find the customer. Potential new visitors use the internet to independently locate website. The internet is undoubtedly the cheapest, most convenient and efficient way to address this potential new customer in some African countries. The number of internet users continue to grow exponentially, with the developing countries reporting a bigger increase. The last solution is other countries could give help to the African country.